The government shutdown crisis deepens, with the Senate's eighth attempt to reopen the government looming. But will it succeed? Here's the latest. The political standoff. On day 14 of the shutdown, Democrats and Republicans remain at a stalemate. The Senate's return to Washington sets the stage for another crucial vote on a House-passed funding measure. But here's the catch. Senate Republicans need 60 votes to pass the bill, requiring them to convince more Democrats to join their cause. Democrats, however, are standing firm, demanding the extension of health insurance tax credits as a non-negotiable condition. Military paychecks in jeopardy. The shutdown's impact hits home for military families. Naomi Pyle, a San Diego resident, fears her husband's Navy paycheck might not arrive on time. President Trump, in a social media post, assured military members that funds had been identified to ensure their pay. But for families like Pyle's, living paycheck to paycheck, the uncertainty is distressing. They now face tough choices about which bills to prioritize. House Speaker's unwavering stance. House Speaker Mike Johnson, a Louisiana Republican, refuses to budge. He insists there's nothing to negotiate, accusing Democrats of political games. The House, having passed a funding measure until November 21st, argues it's the Senate's turn to act. But Senate Democrats are equally resolute, demanding negotiations on the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Senate's procedural vote. The Senate reconvenes, preparing for a 5:30 p.m. vote on the House-passed funding bill. Notably, this time, there's no mention of considering the Democratic version. The focus is solely on the GOP bill, marking a shift in strategy. House Democrats return. While the House remains out of session, House Democrats are summoned back to Washington by Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. He advocates for negotiations with the White House to break the deadlock. Republicans, however, argue there's nothing to discuss, as the House has already fulfilled its duty by passing a funding measure. The eighth vote. The Senate's eighth vote on the House-passed measure is a pivotal moment. Republicans aim to secure enough Democratic support to reach the 60-vote threshold, but Democrats have been reluctant to budge, with only a few crossing party lines in previous votes. The Democrats' own bill, which would fund the government until October 31st and extend health insurance tax credits, remains unmentioned in this round. Coast Guard paychecks secured. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem assures Coast Guard personnel will be paid this week, thanks to the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. This comes after President Trump's directive to the Pentagon to ensure military paychecks, excluding the Coast Guard, which falls under Homeland Security. As the shutdown persists, the question remains, will the Senate's eighth vote be the charm, or will the stalemate continue? And what does this mean for the families anxiously awaiting their paychecks? The political drama unfolds, leaving many wondering when and how this crisis will end.